Hello, this is Bill Steffen. You know what I did on Sunday? I went for a big long walk at the Wallfield Park, which is at 8 Mile and Alpine. I think I was out for about 2 hours or so. There's a trail there that has both pedestrians and also a lot of mountain bikes go by. You can kind of hear them coming and kind of give them a little bit of room as they go by you there. But what a beautiful day we had here. We had sunshine, blue sky, a little bit of that smoke in the air, but not quite as much as Saturday. But it was a good day to get out. I took a couple pictures, which I will probably share with you here tomorrow. Sunday, low temperatures. Hey, remember we talked about the towns of Kipling and Rudyard. Rudyard Kipling, after the English author. The town of Kipling made it to 21 degrees here early Sunday morning. Now, that's up in the UP, but I mean, that is that 11 degrees below freezing. I mean, the bird baths would be frozen up there. That's why they don't, grow any grapefruit or oranges in upper Michigan. But even down here in lower Michigan, look at some of the temperatures from Sunday morning. 26 at Leota. Baldwin reached 27. Manistee was 29 at the Blacker Airport there, 31 at Ludington. Muskegon set a record low temperature, and it's one of the few times it's made it down as cold as 34 during the month of June. 34 degrees there. Grand Rapids was not quite as cold. By the way, the temperature there at Muskegon set a record low temperature for January the 1st, and 39 here in Grand Rapids. I think I had 38 at my house here, but rather frosty start to the day. Okay, lots to talk about here today. Let's start out with talking about the smoke layer that's over West Michigan. I continue to check some websites up in Manitoba to get some more information on the fires that are going on up there. It's been a tough fire season so far. Fires in Manitoba, there are 25 active fires. They don't really define active, but I'm sure that means that there are crews working them. 8 of them are still deemed out of control. State of emergency has been declared for all of Manitoba, including a full burn ban, which means you can't use your little fire pit in the backyard. They're really trying to control everything right there. In terms of I wrote down, I don't know if I have that here on the sheet or not. I wrote down what they have here, 106 fires burning. 98 of them were caused by human beings. They have 4 that were caused by natural causes, like a bolt of lightning, and then 4 that are undetermined as of yet. But you can see that it's human beings that cause these fires. 90% of them in California are caused by human beings, and of course a few by lightning out there, but not as much lightning in California. It's not a big lightning state. And there are some evacuations there which continue under the smoking skies of Manitoba. But our winds are going to go back to the southwest, and that'll blow all the smoke out of West Michigan here. It should be back up into Canada. Okay, up next, high temperatures for Sunday afternoon. We've been highlighting all week about how it's been cooler near Lake Michigan, and that has certainly been the case. Average high temperature in Grand Rapids at 75, and Sunday afternoon we reached 68 in Grand Rapids. Kalamazoo only 67, and look at the difference between inland and at the lakeshore. We've been running about, I guess, about 15 degrees every day difference. Holland Beach at 52.5, Muskegon Pier only at 50. That was the highest it got, so that means most of the day was in the 40s. I think the low temperature out on the pier was 44, so the difference between the low and the high was only 6 degrees. And of course, why has it been cool? Because of that west-northwest wind coming off of Lake Michigan and the smoke layer that we have out there. And you can see on the left there a picture from the Muskegon Channel that I grabbed from the Gluro camera earlier today. In terms of the lake forecast here and everything else that's going on, it looks like it's going to be a rather interesting day here. Southwest winds 10 to 15 knots. Waves should be around 1 to 3 feet, probably closer to 1 foot down at Benton Harbor, and up towards 2 to 3 feet up toward Big and Little Sauble points, where the wind's coming in a little bit more distant off the lake. And that picture there, of course, is from May 31st, and that is the sun shining through that smoke layer there. Temperatures will be a little warmer at the beach. Instead of 50 at the Muskegon Pier, it may reach 64 or 65 here this Monday. Now look at Tuesday. The Tuesday wind south to southwest 15 to 25 knots. Waves should be up around 3 to 6 feet. It will be, you certainly don't want to be jumping off the pier at Grand Haven State Park or any pier that where you can jump off to the south. It's of course the water temperature is so cold you really don't want to go swimming. The buoy out there, I think today when I looked, was 46. Port Sheldon buoy. I mean, that's painfully cold. And that's one of the reasons we've had a cold March, and it's just taken some time here to warm up the lakes this year. It did make 65 at Reeds Lake Inland after an early morning surface water low temperature of 60. Okay, we're going to take a little time out right now after we do our headlines. Mostly sunny skies for Monday. Next rain comes Tuesday night and Wednesday. But I think we should still be able to get in, most of us anyway, the Tuesday evening softball and golf leagues. Warmer the next couple of days here, especially on Tuesday, and cooler temperatures each of the next couple of days near Lake Michigan. Now we'll take time out to thank our sponsors. Listen to this.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
The longest days of the year occur during the month of June, with the solstice coming up here in about 3 weeks. Sunrise time is now at 6:06 a.m., sunset at 9:15, giving us, what would that be, 15 hours and 9 minutes worth of daylight. Solar noon, when the sun is highest in the sky, is at 1:40 in the afternoon. So that period between about 1 and 2:30 is when the sun is highest in the sky. You might want to avoid that if you have sensitive skin and are apt to burn. May was 2.2 degrees cooler than average, got the official numbers there. Warmest temperature was 85. We had 3 days that reached 80 degrees, and the coolest temperature was on my birthday, May 9, when it dipped all the way to 33 here in Grand Rapids. Okay, let's move along and take a look at our weather here a little bit for the next couple of days. Let's start out with a look at 66-hour rainfall here. And you can see the heaviest rain has shifted not only to southern Florida, but also down in the Plain States here. That yellow area indicating up to 1.5 inches of rain over the next 3 days from Texas up into southern Wisconsin and then back across Nebraska. And down in South Florida, they're going to get a lot of rain. Round and round of thunderstorms down there should produce up to 4 inches of rain. They can handle that down there. It's been a little bit drier than average across much of Florida. Look at the rain in Arizona once again. Now, I've been checking the rain there. There was a thunderstorm in San Diego on Saturday. You don't see that too often, especially at 11 o'clock in the morning. Arizona rainfall today totaled just 0.08 of an inch in Phoenix, a dime's worth there, 1/10 of an inch in Yuma, and Nogales had 0.35, about 1/3 of an inch. So they're getting some rain there, and of course they're grateful for whatever they can get there, keep things watered. But they'll have more scattered showers here during the day tomorrow. And we'll take a look now at severe weather for the country. We've shifted the severe weather back toward the Plain States. Note in Florida, they're going to get up to 4 inches of rain, but they're not predicting any significant severe weather down there. That would just be some heavy downpours. Slight risk, which is level 2, goes from the Texas Panhandle northward up into Nebraska and then to southwest Minnesota. No thunderstorms expected in lower Michigan here this Monday night. We will stay dry here. And then looking ahead to Tuesday, this front gets a little bit closer, and you can see thunderstorms erupt along it. You can see the slight risk or level 2 from Texas up into southern Wisconsin, and the marginal risk right around that in a circle, which comes into northern northwest lower Michigan, north of a line from about Muskegon to around Sheboygan or thereabouts. Eastern UP covered by that. That would be just an isolated strong wind gust. We're not anticipating any big outbreaks of severe weather around here. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast then for the day. 79, maybe 80 in inland areas. I think if you're right by Lake Michigan, it'll be in the mid 60s during the afternoon. We'll call it mostly sunny. There will be probably a few high clouds and a little bit of lingering smoke. Temperatures start the day in the mid 40s. And if you're into stargazing, by the way, Saturday night there was quite a display of the northern lights. However, it was smoky here, and we didn't get much of a view of it here. We've been looking to see if anything was going to happen early Monday morning here, but the KP index has only been running about 4 to 5, and maybe if you're totally away from the lights of the city on a clear sky, you can look off to the north and see a hint of green. But that's about all that would be good for. We'd like to see that KP index up around 7 or 8 to get a pretty good show here in West Michigan. Here's a look at high temperatures here for this Monday. As you can see, we're up about 79 in Grand Rapids, 69 for South Haven. So about 10 degrees cooler there by the water, but that is certainly warmer than it was here on Sunday. And look at the temperatures up into the UP, up to 88 there at Iron River and Iron Mountain. 87 at Marquette with the southwest wind, so they're going to get that southwest wind up in the Keweenaw Peninsula. Houghton may get up to 88 as well. In fact, if they make 88, that'll be warmer than probably half the days of July. So pretty interesting. High temperatures Tuesday look like this. Now, they've changed the color palette. Yesterday when I showed you this picture, it was all red, and now it's yellow. That's just because they advanced the color palette. And I don't have anything to do with that, so that's just what happened. But boy, the computer giving us 88 for Grand Rapids. I got 86 out. I think that's better. 74 for South Haven. So boy, if you don't like heat, Tuesday afternoon, you might want to, grab a few dollars and do some shopping along the lakeshore, or maybe visit one of the state parks and county parks, perhaps, and enjoy your time there by the water. Even out over the mid part of the lake, temperatures will be certainly cooler. 88 for Grand Rapids and 64 for the mid-lake buoy out in Lake Michigan. And that's probably going to be right. Note the computer gives 91 to South Bend. So that's some pretty warm air. UP cools off. UP will be warmer on Monday than on Tuesday. And it probably will be a touch cooler than that during the day on Wednesday. Latest long-range outlook here takes you out to Friday. And as you can see, we've got sunshine here for this Monday. We'll call it partly cloudy Tuesday. That 20% chance of a thunder shower on Tuesday is mainly north of Muskegon and during the mid to late evening. For most of us, Tuesday will be a dry day. Much better bet for scattered showers and thunderstorms here on Wednesday. Severe weather kind of iffy. We may get into a marginal risk here, but we'll have to look at that tomorrow. And there will be a lingering thunder shower perhaps on Thursday, dry on Friday. The 8 to 14 day outlook says temperatures here will be near average. And the below average is out in the plain states where another system will come in and produce some clouds and rain. It's warm throughout the Rockies and warm on the East Coast and again down in Florida. Alaska continues to shiver with temperatures in the 30s and 20s up along the Arctic Ocean there. So they're really having a cold mid to late spring up there. So anyhow, that's a look at our weather here. I hope you have yourself a nice day and enjoy what should be a great day and a little bit warmer weather here in West Michigan. The 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, as you can see, we're near average here. So we'll take that. We like near average.
We do. We like near average.
What you got for us?
All right, I'm back after several days of work, and I just got off of work, so I'm sorry if I seem weary. June 2, 1969, the Grand Vitesse by Alexander Calder was installed in Grand Rapids.
On the Calder Plaza, no doubt. Mm-hmm. And yes, it's a marvelous sculpture. When I've emceed stages at festival, I've often done the main stage where I've been sitting right next to that thing, grabbing a little bit of shade from the Calder.
So you didn't arrive in Grand Rapids until after it was already here.
74 was when I arrived, and 75 was the first year that I emceed stages at festival. So I did that for, golly, I think I did it almost every year. It would have been close to 50 years of emceeing stages.
So it's really not the Calder. The Calder is Calder Plaza, but really that sculpture is the Grand Vitesse.
Right.
What does the Grand Vitesse mean?
Well, that is French, and I know this because I've been doing festival for so long. Le Grand means grand, that's pretty easy. Vitesse means quick or fast, speed, and it relates to the Grand River because the Grand River was shooting through downtown Grand Rapids at a pretty fast rate. And we're one of the cities. Now, some cities have rivers that go through them. We have some natural rapids right here in Grand Rapids. That's why we're called Grand Rapids. And if you can think of towns that have that, I can think offhand Spokane, Washington, and Great Falls, Montana, two towns that have rivers with waterfalls or rapids in the downtown area like that. But very interesting. Yeah, a really nice sculpture. I don't know. I had a whole list of facts about it, about how often they paint it and all of that. But
and do you see yourself? You're in the photo.
Oh yeah, look at that. Way down there. I'm holding it looks like I'm holding the thing up.
Mm-hmm.
No.
What
There
year
it
was
looks
the
like I
first
got quite a
festival?
haircut, but I'm actually looking through a hole in the logo
Yes.
for festival.
Rest in peace.
What year was the first Festival of the Arts in Grand Rapids? I know that. It was a one-year anniversary picnic from the dedication. So if it was 1969, that means the first festival was in 1970. And I have a nice picture of that first festival in 1970 that I use. And it's kind of interesting. You're looking northeast, and all you can see is a parking lot and the Lutheran church. And the whole downtown area in Grand Rapids has really changed in 50 years.
Wow.
Well, hail to the Queen. June 2, 1953, Queen Elizabeth was coronated. She was an amazing queen. She really was. Very much an inspiration to her people during World War II. She was queen, by the way, for 70 years. Did you know that? She became queen in her she was like 24, 25 years old when she became queen. And, until she passed away, 70 years, pretty amazing. She lived into her 90s, and I think she was well thought of by the majority of the Brits, including the Welsh and the Scots.
And back a few more years, Michigan adopted its Great Seal on June 2, 1835.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on there with the deer and the eagle there, E pluribus and all that.
So the seal was modeled after the seal of the Hudson Bay Fur Company, and you look at the two of them, and absolutely, yes, it was.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Now, it says here it was designed by Lewis Cass, the Cass County guy, and he's got a county named for him in Michigan and one named for him in Indiana. Mm-hmm. Nobody's named a county after me or you yet, but there's still time. Just kidding.
The Hudson Bay Fur Company was founded in 1670, and it is tragically in the process of closing right now. But until then, it was the longest running company in the U.S. in that time period. The Hudson Bay Fur Company controlled the fur trade in North America, and then over time, it sold a lot of products and eventually became department stores. And the last of the department stores are liquidating right now. But that's
Mom and I had a really nice trip north of Sault Ste. Marie. It must have been the year right after we got married. Probably the summer of '78, and we drove north of Sault Ste. Marie to Wawa, Ontario, and there was a little Hudson Bay store there, and I went in and got myself a gigantic winter coat. And then I learned later I had to pay a fee to bring that back into the United States. So, but it was well worth it. That was a great coat and kept me warm. I got a pair of mittens there too, and the mittens have a piece of rug sewn on the glove itself, so you could wipe your nose and then take this off and then throw it in the washing machine. So that was
all right.
Very practical.
The Michigan State Seal, C. Carius peninsulum ammonum circumspice. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. What does that mean? And here are your options.
Seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you. That is the correct answer. Don't fear for deer. Yes, I don't know. That's hard to do in real life. This peninsula is spicy. I mean, that would work for Louisiana, maybe. I think of that as being a spicy state. And 5 years are going to be blown away. When we were blown away was really during the derecho of 1998. That's the closest we've come to getting blown away here in West Michigan.
And you are correct.
We go with A there.
June 2, 1763, Michigan's Fort Michilimackinac was captured from the British, and there were split loyalties among the natives that were for and against that happening, and it was captured by Trojan horse. The natives pretended to play lacrosse and chase the ball into the fort.
Well, that's clever.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, daughter number 2 and I toured the fort last year. So that was nice. That's the second time I've done that. And you get some great views from up there. It's a great place for a fort. You know, you can really see what's coming. Interesting.
And only 2 years ago, on June 2, was the first Alpina Flower Festival. And this year's festival is coming up this weekend. Workshops, people making art shows, presentations, a fun run, a community meal, music. So that's what's going on in Alpena this weekend.
Yeah, we don't have festival in Grand Rapids, so that might be something worth taking in. Keep in mind that area of northeast lower Michigan really got hit by the ice storm that occurred back in late March. And they have not totally recovered from that. It took, 10, 12 days to get everybody's power back. There were so many trees down that they had to clear before they could get to the wires there. So it's interesting. But yeah, first Alpena Flower Festival. And this flower is like for everything. We're not limiting it to just tulips this time out. It's, it's everything. But nice place. That is a neat picture.
Yeah, sunrise from the Grand Rapids Airport by my friend Cindy.
And is that recent?
Yes, day before last, I think.
Oh, okay. So you're looking at not clouds, but a smoke layer. That is a smoke layer, and you can see the uniform color as the sun comes up there. That would be you said sunrise, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking off toward the northeast, which is where sunrise is now at this time of year as we approach the solstice. But thank you to Cindy for passing that along to us. That was very neat. Good picture. Well, time to wrap things up. Wow. Hey, hope you have yourself a fantastic day today. I hope you enjoy our little broadcast here. Check us out at billsteffen.com. We have all the past video logs that we've done here since the start of this in the first week of January. And there's a lot of interesting information there. If you got a birthday or something like that, click on your birthday. If it's like March 20th or something like that, and you can see interesting stuff that happened on your day. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy another day of sunshine.